Hey guys, how's it going? Carl here from North Coast Constrictors. Happy New Year. It's 1st of January 2022. I wasn't going to do a video today, but I decided I have to do a video today because if you look back right at our very first video that we ever posted on YouTube, it was called The Start of a Journey. And 2021, which was yesterday only, we started breeding ball pythons. It's a hobby for me. I have a full-time job, but as you can see, you can't see all of my racks because there's obviously a lot of stuff on the sides and whatnot that you can't see. But I started breeding this year. We bought a lot of juveniles, a lot of sub-adults, and a handful of adults. Some of them proven breeders, some not proven breeders. And by the time the end of the year came up, I had well over 100 snakes. But it started off with one snake, and you got to go back and watch that first YouTube video that we did, which will explain to you how we got into this. But we've produced our very first hatchlings. In this video, I'm going to show you our very first hatchlings. But also need to tell you that with the good comes the bad. And I think I've experienced it all. I've done a couple of videos on the whole process of breeding, what I've had to go through, incubation, setup, being a novice, trying to pair the snakes, getting ovulations, not getting ovulations, being let down, thinking snakes are going to go and they don't go, spending a lot of money and not having that. And I have made videos on that, okay. And then there's also the bad side where you get a clutch of eggs and maybe some of those eggs are bad or some of those babies die. And we've experienced it all in our very, very first season and our very first clutch of eggs even. I had a small clutch of eggs, our very first female that only laid 4 eggs. One of them, although it wasn't a slug, she rejected the egg. And I don't know why she did that, but it ended up actually going bad. I did separate the eggs from the female. I put them in an egg box in an incubator. I did see that egg started to go bad after about a week. I then took it out of the egg box and I put it in a separate egg box. There's another whole video on that, okay? That egg went bad. I turfed it, it was gone, it was rotten. I had 3 eggs left, so that was one negative. Out of 4 eggs, I lost 1, so now I've only got 3 eggs. They all went right through up to 60 days, 59 days. I cut on day 59. I know there's a big debate on whether or not to cut or to cut. That's not a video for today. That's to each their own. That's not what we're discussing. I decided to cut on day 59. And what I did is I cut a tiny little slit just so that the snake could stick its nose out and breathe. That is it, okay? Nothing else. What I was able to do is, with my limited knowledge, is identify 1 or 2 of the snakes, okay, even though there was 3. One of them, the very first egg that I cut, I immediately could tell that it was a blue-eyed leucistic, okay. The pairing was a male spot-nose pinstripe, now I've got to, can't believe I've forgotten what it was, yeah. Lesser pinstripe spot nose. I'm so sorry. I has a complete blank. Lesser pinstripe spot nose male, and he paired up to a fire lesser pastel. So we were hoping for blue-eyed leucistics. And out of the 3 eggs, I mean, what are the odds? And yes, we hit a blue-eyed leucistic. Cuts a small little hole, stuck its head out, was looking great, could see the blue eyes, could see the whole, well, from what I could see from the little slit that I cut, that it was white. And then the others, the other 2 that I cut open, they weren't pure white snakes. I couldn't tell what they were. I'm not experienced enough to tell what they were. I had to let them come out before I could identify them. So there's good to this story and there's also bad. I cut the eggs, just a little slit for the nose to come out. All of them pipped, all of them put their noses out, and then put those eggs back in the egg box onto the vermiculite. No press and seal, just the lid over it, holes in the tub so they can breathe. and I put it back in the incubator. Wanted the snakes to come out, the hatchlings to come out of the eggs on their own. In the morning, first thing I did was get up, go straight through to the snake room and open up my incubator and have a look. And to my horror, I saw my blue-eyed leucistic 3/4 of the way out the egg and dead. The other two were still inside, just their heads were sticking out. And I was obviously devastated. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach by Mike Tyson. I felt I'd done something wrong. That's the snake I wanted to hatch out. And I panicked. I opened up the tub, and obviously I left the other two alone, and I immediately took the egg out, cut the shell away, took her out. It was a female because I did sex her. Took photographs exactly how it was and sent it to very experienced breeders who I know, and said, this is what's happened. I gave them the whole rundown. What did I do wrong? And they said, nothing. You did nothing wrong. This happens. Snake was fully formed. The umbilical cord was still stuck to the placenta. The placenta, there was nothing in it. It should have detached from the placenta and then, come out. But the placenta, where we had cut the slit, where the umbilical cord joined right down to the belly button of the snake was caught there trying to get out the egg. Okay. If I had got to the snake in time, or I'd cut a bigger hole, or if I'd let's say I'd cut half the shell away, or 3/4 of the shell away, she might have not felt the need to try and escape, or to try and get out, and she would have remained inside. I could have then done a ligature with dental floss, and tied it off, and cut it, and she would have survived. The snake was fully formed. I think her struggle to get out the shell with the umbilical cord still stuck to her, stuck to the placenta, and the placenta being still quite big. And the placenta, it was a very weird looking placenta. There was nothing in it. It was crazy. But the professionals have said to me, I've done nothing wrong, and I'm going to take their word on that. But I didn't want to cut the whole egg open the night before. I wanted the snakes to come out on their own. Anyway, that was the sad part. The great part is that I hatched out 2 other healthy babies, and later on that day, these 2 little babies, little hatchlings, emerged from their shells on their own. I was obviously panicking. I was checking every couple of hours to make sure that the same thing didn't happen to these 2 little hatchlings, and it didn't. They came out and they were perfect. They were fine. I left them for a while. When they both came out, I wet them off with warm water, cleaned all the vermiculite off, and then I put them into a hatchling tub together on a damp paper towel. And I'm going to show you these hatchlings now. Okay. So let me start off with it. They're not over the top hatchlings at all. They're nothing special. They're nothing to go crazy about. But what is special about them, they're the first babies that I've ever produced. I'm officially a snake breeder. I have paired up snakes, I've bred them, they've laid eggs, and I've produced babies. I have done the cycle, okay? And unfortunately, I only got 2 out of the 4. So let's focus on the positive, and I'm going to show you those 2 babies now. Now this beautiful little girl here, and she is a girl, is just a lesser. I'm pretty sure she's just a lesser. I've been told she's just a lesser or a butter, whatever you want to call them. There's a couple of different names like banana and coral glow for the same, or they say, it's similar, but let's not get into that. Let's not get distracted. This is a beautiful little lesser. And she is healthy, and she had her first shed last night. Okay, they both did. But this is the first one that I'm going to show you, and she's great, and she's healthy, and she's active, and she's moving around, and I just think she is so gorgeous. And anyway, this is the first one. She was the first one to actually come out the egg and start crawling around the tub. Now the next one This beautiful girl here is a kingpin. She was the last to come out of the two, and she was quite shy. She didn't want to know anything. She didn't want to, but beautiful. I just love the pattern. I just love that dorsal stripe all the way down. So a kingpin, as far as I know, it's a lesser pinstripe. I think her colors are amazing. I really do, but I think I would probably say that about any snake that I hatched out. I made a promise to myself right in the beginning. I do this with my girlfriend. You know, you won't see her on any of the YouTube videos. She is very camera shy. This is something that we do together. We said we're not going to sell our first clutch of eggs. It's going to be like a little good luck thing for us, a little omen, a little whatever. The very first snakes that we ever hatch out, we will keep. They will not be for sale, doesn't matter what they are. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Is it? I mean, come on. I'm just like a absolute proud father at the moment. So just for sentimental reasons, these two hatchlings that we hatched out will never be sold. Not unless we had to for some reason. But they will be kept for sentimental reasons and put back into the breeding program. I would like to obviously produce more blue-eyed leucistics, and they will obviously be doing that for me. So guys, this is what I wanted to show you on the 1st of January 2022. A happy new year from us at North Coast Constrictors and our two new babies. Only two, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and for me, or for us rather, it was two. I have got more pregnant females. They're about to pop eggs now in the next 7 to 10 days. Very, very strong pairings. I expect some great genetics there. So in the next 70 to 75 days, I will show you what we produce out of that. But anyway, guys, from us at North Coast Constrictors, a very happy new year, and I really hope for all the breeders out there that 2022 is your year. You hit all the odds that you really want to hit. You get the snakes that you want to get. I hope they're all healthy and beautiful, and I wish you guys all the best. So until the next video, cheers from us.